That means everybody has to behave, including you, Colleen. It's good. All right. Okay, guys. So today we are talking about goals and how to get those goals into command. I'm also going to dive a little bit on how to track those goals and how to follow along with that. But the first thing we kind of have to talk about is how many people here actually have goals? Okay. Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
Margaret, I'm good.
The only person in the world who's allowed to call me Margaret. Okay, so a good portion of you do have goals, which is excellent. Right, we all have. If you do not have one, please reach out to your leadership and sit down with them and talk about what you need to do to get your what you're looking for at the end of the year. You need to have a goal that you can set your sights to. What we're going to talk about today is putting them into command and how it breaks it down into appointments and what we need to do every single day so that we know where we are so that we can reach those goals. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Right, thank you, Mike. There we go. Good. Yeah.
You are good.
Good, we're good. All right, excellent. So I'm going to actually start at the dashboard here. All right. And can you guys can see the command, right? So make sure
Yes.
you're good. All right, excellent. All right. And for some reason, the sharing options were very weird. Okay, so we are going to start in reports because this is where A, you track your goals, and where you enter them. So when you get to reports, you head right to goals. Right up here on the top, you get a few options. You get your dashboard so you can see where you're at with your database and all those things. But we're going to go ahead and head over to goals at the moment. And if you have goals already set, you'll see them in the goals versus actual. You'll see numbers in here. If you do not, if you've never set them, you'll see nothing. It'll be a bunch of zeros. Okay. We are going to head over to goal settings. We're going to go ahead and set our goals over here. We're going to hit goal settings. And it's going to bring us to the Kelly Guides goal setting. And this is going to be a walkthrough. So it just walks you through putting this stuff in here. Now we're going to need a few numbers in order to do this. So before you even start this, you may want to get these numbers ahead of time. The first thing you are going to need is you're going to need your average commission per unit, which means you might need to talk to your leadership to see if they have a number for you, because most of them leadership has a good number for you for the average for your market. It could also mean maybe you, if you have a history, right? If you've been in the business for a long time, you might actually have an average for yourself as well. But you need that number in order to put that in here. You also have to have a good idea of what your expenses are per year, right? And I'll show you what you can do in here for the expenses section. So those are the two numbers that you need. So I'm going to go ahead and get started right here. All right. So right away, you get some big graphs and some big profit goals. I think if you've never entered it, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, you're only sharing the dashboard.
Really? What is going on? Hold on, once I try it again. It's weird. It is not letting me share my screen. That is strange. So I just have to keep changing it. It is very odd. So I'm gonna have to keep updating it. So let me know if it doesn't update and I keep going with it.
Looking good.
All right, cool. I believe if you've never updated this, because I did this a little earlier just to make sure it was still all working correctly. is that the profit goal it starts you off with is $1 million. So you like the $1 million for everybody who's old enough to have watched Austin Powers when it first came out. So and when $1 million was like, not that much money, but still pretty good amount of money. So yes, so $1 million it usually starts off, but we're going to probably edit that, right, for your profit goal. We may not. Maybe that is your goal for the year. We're going to go, so we're going to head over here to the right hand side, and this is where we're going to say, it's going to say what year are we setting our profit for. So you can pull that down. It's going to give you the only option, which is 2022, which is the year we are in. And it's going to ask, what is your profit goal? What is the goal that you want? What do you want to end up at the end of the day? And if you have any questions, you see there's a lot of the little I next to the little things next to this. If you highlight it, it'll actually give you some more information of to what it's looking for. So this is looking for the amount of profit your business earns before taxes. Okay. So I want to say I want to make $300,000 before taxes. Let's say that's my goal for this year. Now, down below, I have the option of either doing this as a percentage of GCI or a fixed dollar amount. Does anybody want to take a stab as to why it offers a percentage of GCI?
Because of the MREA, it talks about the 30, 30, 40.
Yes, you ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Someone get that woman some socks. This is awesome. So yes, and you have the right percentage, right? Right around 33%, depending on how much money you expect to make, you should be using your expenses as a percentage of what you make in GCI. I believe this is all listed on page 152 of the MREA book, if you want to take a really good look into your financial models, because it breaks down what you should be spending for your expenses, depending on how much money you are making. So anybody who has not picked that up, MREA book, chapter 152, okay? In fact, this whole thing, this whole goal setting sheet and how it breaks it down, it comes from this book. It comes from the original model. It comes from the economic model, where it breaks down exactly what you're doing in here. That you can find that on page sort of 131 on the MREA model. So I know we're big onto this, but all this stuff comes from here, right? So you can do a percentage of GCI, or if you're not quite there yet, you can do a fixed amount, right? So you can do a fixed amount, which is you can put in expenses and cost of sales. Does anybody know what cost of sales is?
Cost of sales is anything that comes out of your check that is a direct result of a sale of a property.
Correct. Very good. Your cap is a cost of sales, right? So it should be the very least, you should put the total of your cap and including your royalty inside your cost of sales. There might be some other things that you can throw in there. If you're a team and a rainmaker, and maybe you're paying your buyer agents or things like that, that might go in there as well.
Referrals would go in.
Referrals. Yep. So those could be cost of sales as well. So at the very least, it should be your cap. And 28 is my cap here. So I'm just gonna put that in here. The next thing you need to know, there's actually more numbers that you should take a stab at, is your business makeup, right? So now this is the balance between buyers, listings, and leases, right? So typically, right, we want to see 50-50. You might want to skew that a little bit right now with the market the way it is. There are a lot more buyers out there than there are listings, right? So you might want to skew it a little bit more just because of the market, especially if you're relatively new to this business. If you're a new agent, you might want to skew it a little more towards buyers, or a little more, or if you've done this for a long time and you know your numbers, put your own metrics in there, right? So if I was looking, I'd probably switch it to buyers here. Like for myself, 40% listing, 60% buyers, right? This is more of a reflection of what the market is doing right now anyway. In fact, it's a reflection of what my market center is doing currently. So you want to kind of take a look at this and make sure it fits. You also need to put a percentage, if you do leases, put a percentage there of what your leases would be as well. And then you come down here and this is where you're going to put in your average commission unit. So our average commission here is for listings about 13.5. I'm going to lower it a little bit for buyers, just because I see a lot on the buy side, unfortunately 2%. So that's what I'm going to put in for us. But you should know what your metrics are. If you do not have past metrics and you need some help with some of this, like I said, reach out to your leadership. They will have good numbers for you to use for whatever market center you work in. Okay. Any questions so far in any of this?
Also in the chat, I put a link to the MREA chart of accounts. So if you have any questions as far as what types of things go into cost of sales or other categories, you could take a look at that at your leisure.
All right, so I'm gonna go hit next. Let's move on. And the question is, can you see my next screen? Is it
Yes.
okay, good. So we're doing well. Awesome. So now we need to talk about conversion rates, right? Because now it's going to take your big number and it's going to break it down. It's going to say, okay, what are your conversion rates for certain things? Now, when you walk into this, it's going to put averages in there. So it's going to put average conversion rates for all of this stuff. Once again, if you've been in the business for a long time, you may have your own numbers. Take a look at what some of your metrics are to see if you need to change some of this, right? You might have a better contacts to appointments that, like if you're like a rock star at setting those appointments, you might actually have a higher number than 5% there, right? And you should be tracking to see where you are with that. If you aren't, and you've been in the business for a while, start doing that, right? So that you can make better adjustments on your goals and have better numbers and better goals to hit later on. So, but I'm going to keep the average here, right? So in terms of the leads to contacts, I'm going to keep all of this the average to keep that very close. If you have any questions for what any of these mean, it lists it out over here on the left-hand side. So it tells you, what leads, contacts, appointments. It goes through exactly what each one of these means, right? So this is this helps you get through this. Any question about this part? Neat. Okay. Cool. All right. So it kind of took all of the stuff I put in and now it's saying, okay, let's review my goals, right? So it's saying, all right, this is my breakdown, my business makeup, my average commission unit. It's sort of giving me an opportunity to go through this, make sure I put everything in correctly. And it's offering my annual profit goal, my cost of sales, my operating expenses, and it shows it in a nice big colorful wheel for me as well. So I'm gonna say, okay, great. What's next? Let's review my goals. Let's see what I got to do. So it's gonna say, okay, it said, hey, you want to start your goals now? Let's go right to smart plans. let's get started on lead generating right away. Let's go. Let's get some of those smart plans going. By the way, how many of you use smart plans? If you don't have your hand up, talk to your MCTT. Because we need to get you on smart plans. You'll love it, I promise. You'll love it. It'll improve your business tenfold.
Smart plans are the bomb. At a bare minimum, if you are not using the quarterly call smart plan and the birthday smart plan, you are missing out.
The birthday smart plan is so easy. And if you need birthdays, go stalk Facebook. They exist in there, right? And if you need anniversary, like for the anniversary smart plan, that one's easy too. Just go to public records and stalk public records. You can find out when they bought the house. right?
Yep, right in MLS. Yeah.
Right? So you'll find all of that information. You don't have to be the one who sold them the house to send them a home anniversary. And how cool is that if you send them one and their agent didn't? Right? So, all right. So we're gonna head over. I'm gonna head over to my view my goals here. And I'm gonna see my numbers. So it took what I put in there, and now in reports in the goal setting, it's giving me physical numbers, right? So it's saying, in order for me to make what I want to make, the 300,000, I need to do 30 transactions, 30 closed units, right? And then in order to do 30 closed units, I got to get 35% of them under contract. In order to do that, I need to have 38 agreements signed. In order to get 38 agreements signed, I need to do 45 appointments. In order to do 45 appointments, I need to set 56 of them. In order to set 56 appointments, I got to contact 609 people this year. Is 609 people doable? Right? That's like less than 2 people a day. That's pretty cool. Like, I can do that. That's cool. Let's do that. So in order to do 609, I need, ooh, hello?
Mr. Ford.
Oh, I don't think that's a question.
Okay.
Okay. And then in order to do that, I need 22,405 leads. Oh, that's significant, right? Some of that, I may not need all leads, but I might be able to get some right off of because I'm going to get some of these contacts from my database. But at the same time, I can get this from other things that I'll be doing, whether it's ads or seminars or meeting new people, whatever. This is how I get my leads, right? So I can see my goals right here. I can break this down to monthly, so I can see what I need to do per month, right? So this month, I will need to set 5 appointments. That's not bad. I can do that. So I can do that this way. So I can break it down between the year and the month. That's very helpful in order to do that. I can also hit the compare button. So it shows where I am compared to everybody else. So all agents means all of agents in KW. If you don't want to be compared to anybody else, don't hit the button.
Can you break it up into quarters?
No, it just lets me do month and year. If you want to do quarters, there are actual resources that you can use for that. They used to be in the GCI, the growth initiative stuff, but I don't know where that stuff lives anymore. Mike, do you know?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah, there are spreadsheets for that, Karina. If you want to break it down towards quarter and not monthly.
Okay, because that's my thing this year. I'm doing
Quarterly.
So I don't even look at my goals for the whole year. I just look at my goals for that one quarter.
Okay.
So, okay.
No, that's fine. That's not a bad way to do it either. Okay, so, and if I go through here too, it'll show me my profit tracker. So where am I with my profit? My activities breakdown. So what have I been doing? So right now, my activities have been basically emails that I've been tracking. And I do some percentage values. I do other texts too.
Does it break it down to buyer and seller goals, like appointments, like listings versus buyers?
Listings, buys,
Buys. Thank you.
and listings. Yes, you can choose that as well.
Great question.
It was a very good question. Thank you, Cheryl. And then it shows me my conversion rates as well.
I think Kristen has a question.
Oh, good.
Thanks. So obviously I'm doing it while I'm listening to you. So I have, I put in 10% for buyers because I usually just do listings.
Hmm.
And when I'm looking at buyers this month, it's 0.
Because the number is so low.
Yeah, so you're
Right.
below what that lowest number would be, so you're into decimals. So that's
You're
why
in the
it's,
decimal point.
Like it says 0 leads, 0 contacts,
Yeah,
0
because
appointments. Well, no, it
it's,
says 1 appointment.
well, and those are your goals, right? So like what it's doing is it's breaking off that 10% from your top goal, and it's below a percentile that it's just not pulling up the numbers, I think,
Okay.
for you.
Okay, thanks.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then, yes, the CGI breakdown, this just shows you the breakdown of your goal for the month and then the year. So now we need to track this, right? And some of it happens organically in this section here. Oh, by the way, it also shows it on your dashboard too, in case you don't know. I'll just show that real quick. So if you walk on your dashboard, the goal section, if you don't have the goal section, you can add it with your customized home button here. So if you want to see what you're doing, like right up front, go for it. Go back here for a second. Okay, so let's talk about how some of these numbers get populated. Okay, so like how does these, like what I'm doing, pop up? Some of it, like I said, happens just with the stuff you do in the system. Some of it you actually have to manually do something in which to make these numbers work. So I'm going to kind of go through this a little bit here. Okay. Leads. This one's easy. The leads tracker will increase when a lead comes in the system automatically or is manually entered. So what that means, if you get a lead from your website or Facebook or one of those other places, and it's marked a lead in your contacts, it counts as a lead. If you manually enter someone and check off that it's a lead, it counts as a lead. Okay. Contact. The contact tracker will increase anytime a contact is added or imported. And also if you uncheck a mark as lead, so if someone came in as a lead and you uncheck it and it's now a contact, it gets counted towards the contact section. All right. Appointment. Go ahead.
Contacts, is that everybody in your database?
Anybody you add to your database.
The new people that you have?
New people. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Appointment set. The appointment set tracker will update once you enter the appointment schedule date in the detail section of opportunities. Okay. So that means you're going to start using the opportunity section. I'm sorry, people, you have to have a sales pipeline in order for this to work. Oh no, I'm so sorry. We have to track our business.
show of hands, is anybody not using opportunities to track your transactions? All right, that's a good thing.
They either are or they're just too afraid to let you know, Mike.
No, I have to say, I use opportunities, but I don't really use it to track anything. To me, it's just a really annoying process at this point. I know it shouldn't be, but right now that's what it is.
So it will be less annoying if it starts giving you if it starts giving you value and full information, right?
Right,
Right.
right.
So if you are tracking your goals through here, then you should be using opportunities as an actual physical sales pipeline and as a transaction system, right? Because if you use it, then it's going to start being of value to you. And it'll be less annoying at that point. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Just muddling through.
I know. All right.
So in
Okay.
order to do that, once we put them in, like they're already a contact, or say we get a new one, then the new one we track as a lead, and an old one we just put into as in the opportunity as whatever it is. Like they're like, say I've got, people already in there and now they're gonna list. I just put them in. What way do I put it in to track it so that, or just put it in as a listing in the opportunity?
So basically, as soon as you start to talk to somebody, like seriously, right? Then you're gonna you're gonna create them as an opportunity, right? So you're gonna take that contact and make an opportunity for them,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
As soon as you have an appointment date.
Yep.
Put it into the detail section of the opportunity. It will then track that you had that
Okay.
appointment, okay?
Thanks.
You're welcome. Same thing with appointments kept. What the appointment dates, the appointment scheduled date does the appointment set, appointment date does the appointments kept. So that means they actually showed up, okay?
And does that automatically take them off of being a lead? They're no
No,
longer a lead, right?
no, well, they're no longer lead, you should absolutely uncheck the lead box. If you're like physically, if you've talked to someone, they're no longer a lead.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But you have to do that manually. If you set an
Correct.
appointment, it doesn't automatically do that. Okay.
So where would you put them then? They're not a lead, are they just contact?
They're a contact at that point, yeah. A lead is someone you really haven't like spoken to or had like a two-way conversation with, right? It's as soon as you sort of had an actual physical conversation with them, they're really a contact at that point. We've connected. Doesn't count if you just sent them an email or a text message and there was no response back, right? It has to be an actual conversation of some sort. Okay. Agreements. The agreement tracker will update once you enter the agreement 1 date and the contract date in the detail section of the opportunity. So once again, use that detail screen to actually give yourself useful information. If you put those information, it's going to start tracking this stuff here. Under contract tracker will update once you have a date saved in contract date. Makes sense. The closed unit tracker will update once you have a date saved in the contract date field. And and a date saved in the closed field, sorry. You have to have one in the contract date and the closed field. So as soon as you put the closed date in, it goes to closed units. Okay. Questions so far?
So once we go, sorry, I'm full of questions.
Good.
So
Good.
once I go in and put my goals in, everything that I have in under opportunities will just convert into whatever they are in there. So if they, or is it not going to start until after I start putting new ones in?
You have to have dates in those fields. Are you putting dates in those fields?
Yeah.
You are.
Yep.
Is it showing up? Have you checked?
Is it showing up as what?
Are they like, are you getting results in here?
Like say my pending, say listings that are under agreement or listings that I presently have or buyers that are under agreement, will all
Right.
of that stuff track towards the goals that I now have? Once I put them in there, the goals,
It should.
I'll keep you posted.
Keep me posted. Keep me posted, babe. Karina, you have a question?
Yes, I do. Now, we just set so I just set my goals right now. I had a closing earlier this month. Will it show automatically there or do I have to update it somehow?
You put the close date
Yeah,
in the detail screen?
yeah,
The opportunity? Okay.
yes.
Is it showing?
No, that's why I'm asking because I don't see it showing.
Should show.
Maybe you'll have to refresh, Karina.
Maybe.
That would
I
be my,
did.
yeah, try refreshing. If that still isn't the case, definitely reach out to your MCTT. There might be a bug. This did happen last year, I believe. It was only going by the trigger of a date being put in and saved.
Yeah,
So if that's the case, we'll have to make sure that gets reported. But that's how it's supposed to work.
it is. how
Okay,
it
then
should work. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just, all right, then I'll just, that's okay. Keep going. Thank you.
No problem. It's a good question. Yeah, let your MCTT know, because if it's not doing what it's supposed to do, we need to get that going so that, you know, as you start tracking, you get actual numbers, right? This is no good unless the numbers are right. Okay, so let me talk about some of the other things that track here. The profit tracker. This report shows the progress of your estimated profit based on the opportunity data. So as you update your opportunities and your pipeline, It's going to start pulling that information and put it into the profit tracker for you. Activities breakdown. This is the report used to track the total number of activities for the current month of year. That means you actually have to add activities into the database, right? So if you're making phone calls or you're like sending emails, the emails get tracked, as you can see, but if you're not adding the phone calls, it's not gonna come in here, okay? So you make sure that you're tracking that, right? One of the best ways to track that is in contacts. You make your phone calls from your command app.
How do you do that? You have to have something else, right? To make, because they don't let me.
No, Mina, you reach right out to me and we will have a one-on-one
Yeah.
and get you up to speed on that one.
So if
Okay.
you have your command app, you get all of your database on your on the command app, and you can make the phone call directly from the app. If you do that, when you're done with the phone call, it's going to ask you if you'd like to track the call, and you should say yes. So it prevents you from having to double entry. If you made the phone call directly from your phone, like the phone contacts, then you'd have to go back into command and update it. This way, if you make just get in the habit of making the phone call or making the text message or making the email directly from the command app, because it will track it for you. You don't have to do anything extra.
Quick question. Will that sync to our phone, or do we need to make it from the command app in our phone?
You need
The
to make
command-
it from the command app in your phone.
Okay.
So, yeah, so which means you got to have your database in your command. You have to have your database in command, right, in order for
Right.
this to work. Because, and then you just get in the habit of making those phone calls directly from your database in the command app.
Okay,
Okay,
on your phone.
on your phone. Yep.
Yeah.
You can actually do it from your computer. You can set up your computer. Like I have my desktop set up so I can make phone calls by just clicking on the button. But
To a dialer?
it's just like I do it through Google. Like Google will just make the phone calls for me, which is
Okay.
super nice.
Okay.
And I know you can do it with the Apple as well. You can set up things as well to do it that way.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily have to be your phone.
So you don't need additional application or anything for that, or pay additionally to do the calls?
It goes right through the command app on your phone, Mina. So if you
Okay,
initiate the phone call from the app, it'll prompt you to record it after you're done with the conversation.
okay, that's good. All right, Michael, you'll hear from me Monday.
I'm sure.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Go for it.
Where do I find the command app for my phone?
That's a good one. So if you want an iPhone, or are you on an Android?
Oh, Android.
Android. Okay. So if you're on an Android, and Maggie, correct me if I go astray on this, you want to go to the Play Store
Correct.
on your
Okay.
phone,
Yep.
and you want to search for KW, and the app you
KW.
want is KW Command. It is
Okay.
red with white KW lettering.
Oh, I do have it on my phone.
There you go. And that is,
Oh my God.
it is the same database as the one on your desktop. It's just a different interface. So the data
Right.
is always there and it's always the same.
Right. So can I delete Kelly?
That you can. I would say
Yeah,
yes,
I
you can
think so,
delete
yes.
Kelly. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I'm deleting Kelly. Thank you. I'm done with questions, I think.
Oh, no, you can, well, I'll still let you have some, Karina, if you want some, just because you're an Android user and I appreciate that. So.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, there's actually two in this crowd. That's good.
I know, I see Steve down
Excuse me,
there.
there's a-
Yeah.
Excuse me, there's at least three.
Oh, sorry, Steve. Didn't see you there.
Good. We all need to stick together.
That's right. Okay, so yeah, so that's the activities breakdown. So you have to track your activities in this for this to update, just so you guys are aware of that. Goal conversion rates. And once again, I'm sorry I'm making you track stuff for your business. Ugh, it's awful, isn't it? Okay,
Horrible.
it's horrible. All right, goals conversion rates, right? It just shows you your conversion rates with your profit goal to the current month and year, and the breakdown, just use the breakdown here. So all of those things that you would need to track all this stuff. And that is how goals work. Any questions, concerns, comments? Witty remarks? I'll take all of them.
Oh, easy crowd. It's good.
Wow, I know. Either we were so good, they have no questions, or I put them all to sleep.
Or our heads are spinning.
You were just so good.
Yeah, take it when you can get it.
It was
Oh, where
good.
was my clicker?
It was
Cool.
easy.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
who's gonna start tracking their goals now? Who's actually gonna put them in? I know Karina did it already, and so did Kristen.
I see a question.
Maybe, yeah, go ahead.
Kristen, do you have a question?
Oh, yes, I do. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can you print, is there a way to print like this screen?
Print screen.
Well, I mean, I guess you could just like screenshot it, but I mean, is there a way to like download this and print it or no?
I don't believe,
Yeah, there is not a printable report at this time.
Okay,
yeah.
that's
yeah.
what I meant. Thank you.
Print, yeah, the print screen is gonna be your best option here.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Maggie, will you scroll down a little bit so I can see, look at this activities breakdown thing? Oh, okay.
I've made a lot of emails. I do a lot of emails. My database currently.
So it would just be all different colored pies based on what the activity is, I assume.
Correct.
Okay. Excellent. What's up in the next class? Do you have any idea?
I believe it's all hands on deck.
It is. It's Stump the MCTTs.
It's Stump the MCTD day. You guys get to see if you can stump us.
That's next Thursday.
Yep.
Yes.
My favorite one is a challenge.
Yep. Bring all of your questions, command,
Bring 'em.
tech, or otherwise. We are ready.
How many hours is it gonna be?
It is the,
Okay.
it is the 1 hour. So we have our own fail
Very
safe.
good, very good. Cool. All right.
Thank you.
Well, if there are no other questions, then I release you all into the atmosphere. Have fun. Have a great day.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I'm glad hopefully you guys got something out of this.
Yeah, excellent.
see you,
Thank you so
Margaret.
much.
Thank you.
Great.
How's the
Have a
little
great day,
one?
guys.
She's good. Thank you for asking.
How old is she now? Do I dare ask?
4.5. Do
Oh
you dare ask?
my God. 4.5.
And she's sassy. Oh,
Well, yeah.
sassy and opinionated. Gotta love it.
Do I have your cell phone number?
You should if you don't.
I'm gonna look. Hold please, because I'd like to see pictures. Da-da. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Well, I wonder if I have
It
you.
is available online. You can grab me anytime. Send me a text. I'll send you some pics.
I don't see it. So I'll be finding you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, Maggie.